Well, what's up, everybody? PK here. Just wanted to share um, some insights as we are in the middle of a wonderful leadership series here at the ministry. For those who are in leadership, I just want to give you some very practical positions, attitudes that we need to lead from. The first is that we should lead on purpose or with a purpose. The desire to go first or the desire to take on responsibility should not be something that we take on flippantly, but there has to be a purpose attached to it because the weight of leadership is so heavy. Unless the purpose is beyond our comfort, unless the purpose is way beyond our convenience, we won't last unless our leadership is attached to a bigger purpose. I'm reminded of Jesus. The scripture says that Jesus, at 13 years old, wandered away from his parents. And when his mother and father found him, they were vexed, they were perplexed about where he had been. And he answered them. He said, "Don't you know I must be about my father's business?" And that's a statement of, hey, doesn't matter how old I am, doesn't matter my age, it doesn't matter our face, doesn't matter where we fall in society's pecking order or flow chart. Purpose is also always the best place to lead from. Lead from a position of purpose. Secondly, when we find ourselves with responsibility, which is really the basic of leadership, anytime we have a sense of responsibility or we are responsible for someone or something, then it's very important that we lead on principle. A principle is a law, a timeless truth that governs everything that we do. It's a standard that we don't change. It's something that we all bow to. And I've learned that whether you're leading in a secular arena, whether you're leading in a faith-based arena, whether you're leading in your home, if you're not leading from a principle, personalities will end up dominating. It will take over. Something has to fill the gap. And one of the principles, some principles that you should lead from and lead with is the principle of respect, mutual respect. Regardless of your position in an organization, if you're leading people, you must always recognize the intrinsic value of the people that you're leading, that they are valuable not just because of what they bring to the table, but because they're human beings. If you maintain that basic principle that people matter, and that in and of itself will make you a better leader. The third is people, right? If you're leading an organization, just remember that you are dead in the water without people. Someone once said, if no one's following you, then you're not leading. You have to know the people that you lead. Whenever you're in a position of leadership, it's understanding who they are. Jesus knew that Peter was the impetuous, belligerent one. He knew that Thomas was the doubting one, which is why he said, "Hey, Thomas, feel my side, touch the scars in my hand." He knew them. He knew what they needed. And so he ministered and he led them based on how they were wired. If you lead people, what may help you in your leadership is understanding the different kinds of people that you're leading. And this works better in a small group. Understanding their love language. There's a great book called Love Languages in the Workplace. I would advise you to get it and read it. And some people need to be stroked to get maximum capacity out of. Some people need to be pushed out of the nest and fly. Some people need to feel as if they can fly and do their thing. Some people need to be micromanaged. Some people don't always need the positive reinforcement. Some people you got to clap them up along the way. If you're a leader and you want the most out of your team, then your responsibility sometimes is to commit to bringing the best out of the people that we are leading. And then fourth, and maybe not so much of a necessity, is it's always good to have a leadership philosophy. Some things that you've always used, or strategies that you've developed over time, some tendencies that you have that are unique to yourself and that you use as a tool. So maintaining a leadership philosophy, developing, identifying, cultivating, maintaining a leadership philosophy, how you lead, the spirit in which you lead, will always be a good thing. And then last and finally, whatever, when it comes to leadership, you have to lead with a sense of passion. The scripture says, whatever you do as unto the Lord, to do it with all your heart, your mind, your soul, your strength. Leadership is tough. And unless you're passionate about what you're doing, longevity isn't in the near future for you. You have to love either the method or the mission or both in order for you to have any longevity, to be able to enjoy the high points in leadership and to learn from the low points in leadership and not quit. That is passion. You must have that passion. And so that brings me to the end. I hope it helped. Blessings.